welcome to Big City Off-Road. Never mind the suit, but do look at the cufflinks. Focus, yeah, turbocharger cufflinks. Tell me that's not totally cool, right? This is the small projects video. I've been filming this video for months. Literally months. 4 months I've been filming this video, and it's still not done. I just got back from a gala. I just got back from a fancy event, and I thought, well, cool, let's just throw myself on film like an idiot. So, ooh, yeah. Yeah, I'm on the phone. No, it's not a phone, it's a foam pad for a solve function armrest. Yeah, look at that. Sweaty now, but it's a foam elbow pad for your elbow, which is on your arm. Solve function, Lee Lim, Cruising to Camp podcast. I don't know, this is like a tutorial or something. This fits perfectly on the contour of the door. So if your door is anything like my door, you got a big fat ugly split here. So let's just cover that up. But you want to put it wherever your elbow sits. It's got this beautiful little notch here that sits on this trim. You're literally just going to hook this over. You're going to make sure you're going to cover your ugly crack and squeeze it on. Done. Fucking Corvettes. So we're just going to stick that on there. We'll take our little snap-on pocket screwdriver, because we all have a snap-on pocket screwdriver. I literally have like 19 of these. So we're going to tuck the edges in, and then we're going to forget about it. And by the way, I was recently a guest on the Cruising to Camp podcast. That's Cruising to Camp. If you're not a podcast guy, I get it. If you are, go listen to it. I'm on there. Probably the best episode of podcasting ever recorded. Also, there's a ton of other good stuff on there. This thing caught fire on me the other day. Some electrical fire under the dash. Now I have to find it. Unmistakable smell of electrical fire. Yeah, that doesn't look good in there. Big ceramic block. Maybe it is a blower motor. It's here somewhere. That's done, that's done, that's done. Disconnect the airbag and then maybe kind of pull it out. So I'm gonna cut out a panel to face the drawers, and then we're gonna do some fun stuff with it. It looks like it's about the right radius. Yeah, by the time that drawer sits out a bit. I should get one of these for the garage. You get to see what kind of...
Are you going to bitch at me about how this isn't what I wanted?
I would never do that. Sign up for a credit card, get a free hot dog. You know, instead of sticking my fingers through these holes and yanking it out, now I have actual, you know, stainless hardware that should be nice and quiet on the road. I've talked brake line bracket about 1,000 times and I haven't actually done it. It's time to just do it. I mean, it's literally just a piece of steel this big with a hole in it that gets welded to the axle. Honestly, I probably have a piece of scrap in the scrap bucket. That right there. Drill a hole in it, weld it to the axle, and bolt my brake line bracket. So let's just do that right now, real quick. I'm gonna use these drill bit, tap bit thingies. Okay, so for 2 years now, this brake line has just been floating around. Now, if I was smart, I would just connect this to this and get rid of this Y block. I don't even know why that's there. But instead, I'm just gonna weld this piece of steel to the axle and bolt that down so at least it doesn't bounce around anymore. It's been 6 minutes for you, but it's been 3 months for me. And in between all that, I've been looking for this fire smell, checking wiring, checking all these components, checking pins, checking connectors, checking, and I can't find anything anywhere. The whole interior's out, all the seats are out, the carpet's out, console's out, dash is out. I'm gonna just put the dash back in and fingers crossed it's not a problem. Okay, dash is in. This clock, it's a great clock. It tells you the time. You can adjust it in case the time is wrong. Every time you disconnect the battery, you get to reset the time on the clock. But you know what? The clock is just a clock. And when this one's broke, it ain't right twice a day because it's, you know, digital. Let's get rid of this clock. Let's put a different clock in it, but one that also has some other features. All-Tool Smart GPS slope meter, X95. Speed unit, speed alarm, speed adjust, clock adjust, color setting. It looks like this, except it doesn't look like that. What Lee's done at Solve Function, he's gone and made brackets, 3D printed brackets that fit perfectly, so you can put this cute little guy into your dash. First step is we're gonna take the bezel, we're gonna remove the clock, we're gonna glue this wedge, logo visible, to the underside, and there's a little slot in the wedge and it will match up with this little ridge in the original Toyota bezel. Now this is for an 80 series Land Cruiser. So this is a product that exists that's been modified and added to and removed bits and pieces of so that it now will fit in place of this clock. This is not a drop-in thing. This is a system that exists independent that has been modified in order to fit in an 80 series bezel. I believe he has them for other Toyotas as well. Take a look at that, Solve Function. This is not sponsored by Solve Function. Lee did send me that armrest, but I did pay for this. Hi Lee. And then we're gonna drill a hole through this bezel so we can have a push button, so we can access the button on the other side because this is no longer visible. I went ahead and threw a few dabs of hot glue to kind of hold this together. It's not loose and falling apart, but you got to kind of wedge everything, and I don't like rattle noises. Now we're going to bolt that on there like that, and we've got a screen. But first we're going to drill that hole. All right, we've got our hole drilled. So now we're going to take this bolt, we're going to slide it through this hole, and we're going to screw on this little wedge. So we got a big wedge and a little wedge, and what that is that gives you a place to press the button through the hole. That's just going to sort of free float in there. Then we're going to take our unit. So there's our button. This is not a DIY kit. This is a pre-assembled kit that you then install. It's incredibly cleverly done, and it looks totally awesome. And as soon as I saw it, I thought, I have to have this. Your provided cable, you simply give it power and ground. In our case, we're going to use a 12-volt test bench, which is probably one of the coolest things I've decided to put together in my garage. You're gonna take your power wire. I cut off most of it because I didn't need all that length. It's got it looks like a micro USB that plugs directly into the back of the little clock unit there. Then these two pins are gonna go, just put some flat spades on there. They're gonna correspond with the right size and shape of these pins. We're gonna stick those right into the harness, tape it all up. We can sort of backtrack our pins here. This is the original clock harness. So we know if we turn around and look, we have full power down here, accessory power over here, and then a ground up here. Take our little harness. We're gonna put our power in and then our accessory pin. We're going to put our accessory in there, and we're going to put our ground top here. Then we're going to, well, first we're going to test drive it. Problem is the batteries are disconnected. Let's see, let's hook this up. Well, would you look at that? All right, so we've got that taped in there nice and secure. It's not falling out. It's not gonna make any poor electrical contacts anywhere. Plug that in. This harness down in the dash, where it shall remain for the rest of its life. Let's pop this bad boy in there. Now I'm not gonna fully seat that because I very likely have got to have access back there for the next big project. But there you go. There's a very good representation of what that'll look like in your dash. And in fact, from your angle, that might be just about perfect. I pulled the door panel off, I pulled all the vapor barrier off, I took all the goopy black crap off the door panel as much as I could, and I sound deadened the outer skin of the door. There's about 3 layers on it, so it's 2 layers of consistent coverage and then a 3rd layer of just like in the big areas. All the seams are taped, and well, here's a little sound test. And I got to admit, this is part of a bigger project, a much bigger project. In fact, the next probably 2 or 3 videos are going to be related to this. Here's a quick peek of what's to come.